Hey everybody, welcome back, and thank you for clicking on this combat guide. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to start combat, how to learn the system, as well as how to move up in it beyond just the starting level. I'm not going to be showing you any PvP today, just because that's kind of an advanced thing that's much higher up than this. This is all about how to hunt animals, and there's no better animal in the game to test it on and to learn the system on than bats. The biggest misconception people have immediately is fighting ants to learn the system. Here's the thing. The system is not nearly as complex as it may seem. Usually what happens with people is they think they understand the system, then they fight an ant and they get hurt anyway, and then they think that they don't understand it. When in reality, ants, although being the weakest enemy, have a lot of armor piercing. What you should be training on is bats. So, I've taken off all of my equipment here that helps me in any way with a fight. I just have some wool pants, gloves, a belt, and a backpack. None of this helps me at all with fighting. You can see my actual good stuff is in my inventory there. And although we are on a fairly strong character, I mean 100 unarmed and everything, I'm going to be showing you things that you can do currently at about 15 unarmed. You probably want 15 unarmed, 15 strength, 15 agility, 15 constitution. That's all you need to fight these bats. And we're in a cave to fight the bats because it's the best place to fight bats because you can run on cave floor very easily if we switch to running here. You can run on it and barely take up stamina, and they can't really get away. They're stuck in a cave. So this is really what I recommend training on. It'll be an easy way to learn new moves, to finally learn how to fight, and plus butchering bats gives you a lot of good stuff. So the moves we're working with right now, I'm going to go over the combat system real quick for you. This is a list of every single move that you've unlocked. You unlock moves by killing animals. So obviously I have more moves than you do, but to first teach you how to fight a bat, I'm going to exclusively use moves that you start with. So we're going to be using punch, and we're going to be using left hook. Now, for defenses that you start with, you would have things like, I believe it's sidestep. Yep, you would have sidestep, and you'd have quick dodge. Those get rid of green, and they get rid of blue. So, what we're going to do here, well, let's make another slot here. Alright, so we've created our deck here. This is what you'd start with when you're first playing the game. Level 1 punch, level 1 left hook, level 1 sidestep, level 1 quick dodge, and chin up. So chin up, with the gray background, means that it's our stance. During the entire fight, you always have this active, whatever your selected stance is. And this, very simply, is block weight is unarmed. So that just says how strong your ability to defend yourself is based off whatever your unarmed skill is. There's no extra modifier, nothing complicated. Chin up sucks, but it's what you start with. Next we have punch. You can see cooldown 30, which you might not know what each cooldown is. 30 is very fast. Grievous damage is hard hit points, so if you were to be hitting another player, you'd care about that. But against animals, everything is grievous damage. Damage, that's just your basic damage of it. Opening, this is how much of an opening you create, which I'll be showing you in a moment. This is very important though. And it's off balance, so green. All you care about is the color. Ignore striking and off balance. All that matters is they're green. This attack hits green, as you can see from the green symbol there, and it says attack type green. And it creates an opening for green. So as you punch, they're going to have an opening for green, and this hits green. So as you continually throw punches, the punches are going to get better and better because you're giving an opening in the same type you're attacking. And the attack weight, so how strong is this? Well, it's your unarmed, it's 80% of your unarmed, so it's weaker than your regular unarmed skill by a little bit. Your trade-off, it's fast, it's good for creating a green opening. Next we have left hook, cooldown 40, so it's slower, but it is overall stronger, as you can see from the grievous damage and the damage there. And it is blue and causes an opening for blue. So just like with the punch, if you spam this, it'll continually get better, but it's a bit slow. Attack weight is unarmed, and there's no percentage, so we can assume it's 100%. So it is just 100% of your unarmed skill plus the damage and everything, and it's a blue opening. I'm not going to get into the hard math of this, because it's very complicated, and really, you don't need to know it for hunting animals. Sidestep, if someone creates a blue opening on you, you can use Sidestep to reduce it by 20% to keep yourself safe. And quick dodge, same thing, but for green opening. This is all we need to know. Now, luckily, I'm very strong compared to bats, so I can have this bat just attack me for a little while without really worrying about my health or anything up here, so I can show you the system. So I'm going to show you the combat system. We click on the bat. Okay, so I'm going to just throw a few punches here just so that we can really see the full depth of this. So what do we have here? Right here, we see he's attacking us with a fell scratch. It's hitting green and it's hitting blue. And you can see little health pop-ups there. We are taking a little bit of damage. Oh, and he used a move that lowered his openings. He has IP there. That's initiative points. It's points you can unlock by doing certain moves to, and let's just protect ourselves a little bit here while we talk. It's points you can spend on moves that cost points. So those are usually better moves in general. Don't worry about it too much right now. I'll explain that as we get onto a more complicated deck because none of your starting moves require initiative points. And plus, if you're just hunting animals, for the weaker animals, unless you're getting onto the really strong things, you really don't need any moves that need initiative points. So what am I doing right now? I'm hitting 4 and 3 on my keyboard a lot, and it's highlighting these things. And you can see me duck down every once in a while. So why am I doing that? I'm lowering my openings. Every time he attacks me, he is opening openings on me. You can see there's reeling, which is yellow, because there's a yellow triangle, and there's off balance, which is green. All that we care is the colors. So if he's opening green on me, and I want to lower that, then I'm just hitting 4 because that's my quick dodge, and that's my thing that lowers green. So the way it works, you can always expect to come out of every fight with damage. When you're a high enough level and you have good enough armor, you might not take damage, but just expect to take little bits of damage here and there from fighting. It's just easier that way. So right now what I'm doing, this is a very paranoid defense. I don't need to protect myself when my off balance is that low. What I should be doing is attacking. So I'm going to start hitting 1 on my keyboard because that's where punch is. You can see it says a 1. So I'm throwing punches, it's opening an off balance green opening, and I can just keep laying into him and doing damage. Now I'm going to stop again just so I can explain more. You can see that his opening went up very quickly. He started taking damage very quickly. That's mostly based on my skill. Normally it would take longer. Again, I recommend 15 in all your combat stats and an unarmed skill of 15 before you start fighting bats, and you'll probably be just fine. But you can see there that as I punched him, it caused a green opening. Now, the more of an opening he has on whatever type I'm attacking, the more damage he's going to take. So I'm throwing punches again. As you can see, the red number there is the damage he takes, and it keeps going up and up and up. And in fact, he's trying to flee now, so we're going to switch to running. It really goes through my stamina, but we killed him. So you can grab the body. And there's another bat around here somewhere. Right up there. There's another bat up there. We'll fight that one next. But I think you probably kind of understand the gist of the battle there. That the more damage, they take more and more damage based on their openings. So if he has a large green opening, green moves will do more damage. Easy as that. Some moves attack multiple damage types, in which case, if I was attacking red and blue, if I had a move that attacked both red and blue at the same time, and he had red and blue openings, then obviously it would do more damage. Not every move, though, is going to cause an opening for the same stuff. Let's say that we killed that bat, and that taught us another move. That taught us Raven's Bite. What does this do? It requires any axe and 4 initiative points. You need to have a move that is giving you initiative points. A move such as Think. Actually, no. I believe Think, yeah, you can only use it if you have at least 4 initiative points. A better example would be Take Aim, wouldn't it? Yeah, Take Aim. Cooldown of 30. You can do it from a distance, gives you an initiative point. It's good for closing distance with enemies while you're waiting for them to get to you. You can get some initiative points. Or you could do it while they're next to you. It's just because it can be done from a range, you should. So at the cost of 4 initiative points, and with any axe, you can do an attack that hits green and yellow, causes a small opening for both green and yellow, so this is definitely not something you want to use to build an opening. Damage according to weapon, plus 110%. So it's actually plus 10%, not 110%. And a cooldown of 55, so it's a very slow cooldown, but it's stronger than normal. It's based off your weapon, and it causes small openings, but it hits both green and yellow. So what would the purpose of this attack be? Because I'm trying to teach you how to read these because they're a little bit complicated. The purpose of Raven's Bite would be for a very slow but very strong swing that's hard to build up to. Hits 2 different damage types. So what you'd want to do, build up a lot of green opening, build up a lot of yellow opening, so probably punches and uppercuts would be good for that. And then if you've got a real good axe, you probably have some big metal axe. You want to do your finishing blow, you've built up some initiative points. Then you take Raven's Bite and just do one big swing to try and finish them off after they've been beaten up a bit, to bypass the entire point in which they had run away because they're hurt. That's probably how you'd use Raven's Bite. So I want to show you Uppercut now. So we're going to switch to my general one. Uppercut is a very good move. It's very useful in a lot of ways, and you learn it off of, I believe, foxes and badgers, which are fairly weak animals. You can see that it attacks green and blue, but it only opens for yellow. So if you were to just uppercut and only uppercut, you're never going to do damage because it's not creating an opening of its attack type. You need to throw punches and you need to throw left hooks if you want to create an opening that the uppercut is able to hit. Now, you don't need to use both, but you can. Some animals are going to be better at getting rid of certain kinds of openings. You'll just have to fight animals and get a rhythm for that. You can see here the uppercut. It's got a lot of damage of 30 and a cooldown as short as a punch. So you can really spam this move. So there are 2 big uses for the uppercut. Early game, this is kind of your mid-early thing. You've learned uppercut. All right, change your build. You're not just punching anymore. You're punching to create an opening for your uppercuts. Unless you're against a boar, then you're left hooking to create an opening for your uppercuts, just because boars have a little bit harder of a time dealing with blue openings. Now, we also have Regain Composure and Flex here as my defensive things. Those are not required. That's just what I have. It's the best ones that I have. Let me just bump that up a little bit. You can still use Quick Dodge and Sidestep if you have not unlocked these yet. I also have Oak Stance. You don't need that yet. You get that with the Forestry skill. It's very good if you can get it. So is Combat Meditation, but Chin Up will work just fine for this if you're fighting animals. Uppercut. So our tactic here would be throw punches until they have 50 to 70% of a green opening, and then throw uppercuts until they're dead or until they bring down their defenses too much. So let's show this off. We're going to pick up this rock so we can get to this guy and aggro him. Switch to run. We're going to punch until he's at about 50, just because we're extra strong, and start throwing uppercuts, which is on 3 for me. You can see it's doing a lot more damage on my punches, whereas sneak another punch in to get the opening up, and he just outright died on the spot. He didn't even have time to run away. And let's put that rock back down, just because I use that as a marker for where a cave-in might happen. So I know not to mine there. We just got some kills in. So let's just grab a mushroom here. And now I want to show you a more advanced fight. So you've seen, let's study that. Oh, apparently it requires more attention than I have at the moment. Okay. So you've seen your first fight, you've seen your second fight with very basic builds of the just punch build and the punch into an uppercut build. I'm going to go show you how to hunt some animals now. All right, it's time to show you how to hunt a boar. Now, for a boar, I recommend that you have stats something like, let's do 30 strength, 30 agility. Constitution probably doesn't need to be 30 if you got decent armor. Just decent leather armor will do. And let's say 30 to 40 unarmed, and you'll probably be fine. However, I want to show you how to fight with a weapon now. So you're farther in the game, you have some hard metal, you've made a sword. I'm using a bronze sword. You could also use a wrought iron sword, which I believe is weaker, but it'll get the job done. And really, you can fight boars with your fists just fine. You can see there are 2 boars here. You've tamed a horse because it's not actually that hard to tame a horse. If you got like 30, 40 in every combat stat, really, if you're good enough that you can fist fight a boar, you can tame a horse. And I'll have a video on how to tame soon enough. And decent armor, of course. Just some leather armor, some passable sewing skill. I'm going to show you how to fight a boar here. This is going to be an absolute slaughter. So I aggro on him, And this is my big build for killing animals. I use uppercuts here to create a yellow opening. And once he passes 50, we're going to use Sideswipe. Sideswipe is a very popular move. I'm just going to keep punching while I explain it. Sideswipe is a very popular move because it has the shortest cooldown in the game, currently at least. And it hits yellow. And it does pretty decent damage. So we're going to start sideswiping here and do ridiculous damage. We're hitting 90s. We created a bigger opening than we needed, but you can see how fast I was swinging there. I absolutely wrecked him. Let's just go grab a mushroom ice here real quick, just because these things are great for studying if you see them. Here we go. Beautiful. So we've just completely slaughtered this boar. We can do A and then L to lift it, and then A, H, and H will bring this whole thing back to base, but I'm just going to leave the body here. And I'm going to go find that other boar that we saw earlier so I can just show you how to do that another time. We'll just see whatever we run into. Oh, there's another boar up here. Sweet. This is the other boar we saw earlier. So when you're trying to go fight animals in the wild and you're deciding, like, what should I pick a fight with? Let's say that you've already started beating bats. Bats aren't too much of a problem for you. So you've made leather boots, you've made leather pants, and you've made leather armor. Because that is perfectly acceptable armor for fighting animals through a lot of the game. And you've been fighting bats, so let's say you got a batwing cape as well. What's the first animal you should fight? First animal you should fight is a fox. A fox is very easy, but you're going to need to find a place to trap them. Then you can fight a badger, you can fight a boar, things like that, the weaker animals. You can, of course, always look up on the wiki. It gives you a good idea of the strength of animals. But you might not have a horse yet. Oh, there's a fox over here, so you can see what a fox is like. In fact, I'm gonna fist fight this fox to give you an idea. We're gonna do the uppercut thing with the fox. So I'm holding the sword, but I'm not actually using it here. So we're throwing punches to create a blue opening, or a green opening rather. And I'm gonna bring it to about 70-ish and then start throwing uppercuts. I could also make a blue opening if I want to, but it's really not required. And you can see there, I killed the fox. Again, I have high stats, but it's really not that difficult. Of course, normally I'd be skinning these. You right-click, you skin, you butcher, use whatever your highest quality edged thing is. So for me, my sword is actually quite low quality. I'd rather switch to my stone axe, which is a 34 quality. But if you're fighting animals in the wild and you don't have a horse yet, which all you need for a horse is you need a clover, you need a rope, and you need a hitching post, so that you can capture it and put it in a little fenced-off area. And there's a sheep over here. I don't have anything I need to tame it on me, so I'm just going to kill it and hope I get a move. Because I haven't killed many sheep, just because it's not often I run into sheep. But yeah, all you need is rope and clovers to catch and tame animals, which is not hard to get at all. Clovers are just based off your perception and your exploration. Rope is just any 10 string that you've used to make rope in a rope walk, which is a building you can make. Very simple, very easy stuff to do. Taming animals is actually not nearly as hard as it used to be. I'm fighting a deer here, if you're wondering what this is. Right. So let's say you don't have a horse. Then what you're going to want to do, if you want to fight fair at least, I'm teaching you how to properly fight. There are different ways to exploit animals. You can find it on the Haven and Hearth forum, I'm sure. We actually need to speed up a little to catch that. There we go. We got one watch its moves, which I believe gives me initiative. Sweet. Is this of decent quality? You know what? It probably is. I'm going to carry it around with me. This looks so goofy. But right over here, this is what you're going to want to look for. Let's say you don't have a horse yet. How are you going to catch the animal? Well, one thing you could do is if you have walls to your village, you could lead them inside your village walls, close the door, and then fight it in there so it's stuck in your village. But an easier way to do is if you find a cliff like this, lead the animals to this. Because animals can't jump up and down cliffs. Let's say this deer is alive. Look, oh, it's so full of life. Look at it. You know what? Better example is the thing I just saw on my minimap a living sheep, or is it the sheep I killed earlier? I think it's the sheep I killed earlier. It's totally the sheep I killed, isn't it? Yeah, it's the sheep I killed. Okay, use your imagination. This is a cliff face. You can see here, Animals can't traverse that. You can see the full extent of it there. This is not the best one in the world just because this gap here, but it'll work. You're in a fight here, you're fighting an animal. Position yourself so that the animal is on the opposite side of you, because it'll always trail behind you, so lead it around in a circle a little bit. So if this animal were alive, lead it so that it's like here, and you're standing and fighting on this end, so that when you do enough damage and it tries to run away, it runs at the wall, or at the cliff rather. You want to set yourself to whatever your highest running speed is, of course. Now this ground will not let you go on the highest speed when you're on foot. However, you can go decently fast. So, you're on the ground, you hurt it enough because you're able to beat it. Let's say it's a fox, you're able to beat it, but you're not able to catch up to it. Now, you could do persistence hunting, where you wait until it runs, you follow the blood trail, and you catch up with it again, you keep trying to fight it that way. That's a pain in the ass. If you have a bow, it's easier, but it's still very time-consuming. If I were to hurt this guy enough that he ran right now, he'd run, hit the wall, and start running back. He'd run right into me, and I'd be able to throw another couple punches. That's usually all it takes to finish them off, is 1 or 2 more good uppercuts. So that's a tactic I absolutely recommend. Now, one last thing to go over in this video are anthills. If you saw the previous tutorial video I made, you already know what anthills are and generally how they work. Well, an anthill is, although I said at the beginning, a terrible way to learn the combat system, it's still a good way to learn a few moves. Ants don't give you very many moves, but if you keep killing ants, you will learn a few basic moves, and I do recommend that you do it. So, you can kill ants, it'll work. It's just, don't learn the combat system on that because it will just confuse you. Because it'll feel like you're lowering your openings and you're still taking all this damage and it feels like you've gotten nothing done. Now, let me know in the comment section what you think the next episode should be on. I read every comment that I can when YouTube feels like actually emailing me about comments. And as a sneak preview, I was thinking maybe the next episode could be on taming animals. I just got another Regain Composure. That's awesome, actually, because Regain Composure is my main defensive move. And I just maxed it out at level 5. Sweet. Kill horses, everybody. Not horses. Kill cows, everybody. That was a cow. But right over here is a clover. This is what a clover looks like. And clovers are integral for taming animals. So let me know in the comment section what you want the next episode to be on. Maybe it'll be on taming animals, who knows? But I won't know what you want me to do a video on until you tell me in the comment section below. Again, check out the Haven and Hearth section of my Discord server, also linked in the description. If you'd like to talk to some more experienced players and get to know the community, as well as get to know the game, just ask them questions while you're waiting for me and my slow ass to put out some videos for you. So, thank everybody for commenting, thank you everybody for watching, thank you everybody for subscribing, and until next time, have a nice day.